does it require a lot of work to have people consider being in an open relationship with you or I? You find somebody interesting and attractive, and you would love to be in an open relationship with them. Is it going to take a lot of work, a lot of convincing to have them consider being in an open relationship? Or perhaps you're already in a relationship, you would love to open it. How much work does it require to have them consider being in an open relationship with you or opening up the relationship that you have currently? I do zero work in a relationship, and I argue with you, and I'm going to prove to you in this video that relationships that merit their existence require zero work. You don't need to work at a relationship because the standard model of relationship tells you that everybody tells you that relationships require work. What they don't tell you is that relationships like friendships don't require any work. They simply exist because you love being with them, they love being with you, you love and adore them, and you love being with them. And same with them with you. And the reason why they don't say that is because in relationships, which are close relationships, you have to pretend to be someone you're not in that relationship. So we're going to begin with first principles here. And I'm going to prove to you that it doesn't require any work to be in those relationships, in an open relationship. And in general, relationships that merit their existence require zero work. I begin with that relationships that require work do not merit their existence. It also doesn't mean that relationships require no effort, that you don't put any effort into the relationship so that it persists and continue. Because what they don't tell you is that friendships take work. Best friendships, your relationship with your best friend, it takes work for it to exist. The reason why they don't say that is because it doesn't require any work for that relationship to exist. The relationship simply exists because it merits its existence. You love being with that person. You love, admire, and adore them, and they love, admire, and adore you. And you love being with each other. You love hanging out with each other. You love doing things with each other. And they don't say, best friendships take work. So the first principle is this. Work is any unpleasant effort that you put into something, but you'd rather not put in. And often it's you'd rather not put in unless it's because the financial incentive involved, unless you're paid to do it. Otherwise, effort that you put into anything is just effort that you would love to do. Have you ever heard somebody say that I feel like I don't work a day in my life? Or they just rather say simply, I don't work a day in my life. And the reason why is because they love what they do. Any effort that I put into maintaining my car, because I love my car, any effort I put in doesn't feel like any work. If I really, really love cars, some people really love their car. They love to tinker with it and fix it themselves. They do their own oil changes. They fix their own engines. And they don't feel like it's work because they love their car and they love doing those things with their car. They love tinkering with it. I used to. Now, any effort that I would rather not put into my relationship with my car, I offload it to someone a mechanic who knows how to do those things, who wouldn't ruin my car by doing those things. But things like paying for the maintenance for it, I love doing it. Putting gas in it, I love doing it. It doesn't feel like work. Some of you who know me enough know that I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. And I don't feel like it's work at all. Why? It's because people who love what they do, who love their business, don't feel like it's work. It's because you love what you do. That's effort you put into things that you love. It doesn't feel like work because it's not work. Relationships that merit their existence require effort, but it doesn't require any work at all. So I put zero work in any relationship, and that's the first principle. And it goes right out to the outset of the relationship, right out to the very beginning when I just first meet a person. I put zero work in. How do I do that? If I find somebody who's simultaneously hot and cool at the same time, someone who I find interesting, and I can conversate with, if I can conversate with them, if after 5 minutes I'm still in a conversation with them, my eyes haven't already glazed over from having conversation with somebody, then I find them interesting enough to take to bed. And so I communicate with them that, hey, what do you think about open relationships? Or I don't even mention open relationships. I just simply say, hey, you're incredibly attractive. Let's go home. Let's get out of here. And let's do something else. I'm a sexy person, not because I'm good looking or fit or anything like that. I've never been concerned about that in terms of natural interactions with people. I'm sexy because I'm a sexual person, and I'm not ashamed of any part of my sexuality. And guys and gals, mark my words, remember this always, that people love being with people who have no shame in being who they are, who are completely comfortable with themselves, who are confident without aggrandizing it. Confidence radiates. It isn't anything you put any work into. It simply radiates. It's no effort that you put in. There's nothing you do to be confident. You are a confident person when you know what you can rely upon about yourself, which is self-confidence. Confidence is what you can rely upon to be true. We'll talk about that in a different video, but self-confidence is what you can rely upon to be true about yourself. When you know yourself, you can come up to anybody and just radiate confidence because you're not aggrandizing anything. The moment you pretend to be someone else, or rather, let me put that correctly, the moment you are pretentious, the moment you have to pretend to be faster, stronger, smarter, bigger, better, richer than you are, you come off as pretentious, and especially women can detect this from a mile away. Because women are incredibly socially intuitive. They've evolved to do so. Anytime you become pretentious, people could smell this from a mile away, men and women, but especially women, and it's incredibly off-putting. People who are confident radiate their confidence. They don't radiate being pretentious. They don't pretend to be someone they're not. They simply know who they are, and they're not ashamed of it, and they communicate it. And so, going back, does it require effort to convince anybody anything about open relationships? I don't convince anybody about anything especially about open relationships. I simply introduce them to the ideas, see what they think about it, and if they are mildly interested, if they're already in a conversation with me, then it's something that they perhaps could consider in the future. But at the moment, I don't need to speak with them for 3 hours to talk about open relationships. I simply communicate my sexuality, tell them they're attractive and admire them and adore them and I find them interesting, and then build my intimacy with them from that using the intimacy model of relationships. We'll talk about it in a different video. Hope that helps. Share this video with other people. Let's make the world a better place by sharing these insights and philosophies about relationships. Comment below if you have any thoughts. Like this video if you like it, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.